We've got some new plants to reveal. You know, it's early spring, so some of those we're going to have to just show in pictures. But I was actually walking through the nursery yesterday, pulling some plants for some of our programs, and I decided I'm going to show one that we haven't distributed at all yet. We've only just put a name on it. I don't even know if the name is in our system yet, but I've got the plant here. I'm going to get behind you and grab this plant.
Oh.
So, this is one of my favorite plants. It's a plant I learned here at the Arboretum long before I worked here. It's Ardesia japonica. A little perennial for shade. It's a little evergreen perennial, spreads by rhizomes. We have probably the largest collection of Ardesia japonica in the U.S. Soon to be larger, I hope, because we'll be going to Japan in a couple of months to purchase some plants, and I'm hoping we get a few more of these. But there is one that we got from a good friend of the Arboretum that is taller than all the rest. It is extremely vigorous, larger leaves, and it's called Andre the Giant. You know, you got to play with those names. Ardesia, Andre the Giant. Well, Tim found this variegated sport that's got this really nice chartreuse edge to the leaf. Still very vigorous. It'll grow quickly for you. Still one of the tougher ones. Some of the Ardesias, especially variegated ones, will go deciduous if it gets too cold. This stays really nice. So, you know, we're like dog owners and horse owners. You know, they gotta show that lineage. So this variegated one, form of Andre the Giant, we're naming El Luchador. So hopefully all people get that reference. Once it gets beyond here, why do they name this Japanese plant El Luchador? But it makes us laugh. So this is brand new. Probably not going to send any nurseryman's kids through college, but it's a fun plant, great for the collector. In Japan, they grow these in containers, and so you can grow it inside in a little container. And then it has pale pink flowers underneath it and red berries. Just a cute little plant, and weirdly enough, it's in the same family as primroses, primulus. So,
is the foliage showing up well? Because it is beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, and when it first comes out, especially when it's cool outside, this has been in a greenhouse. It's got some red tints to it as well, pink and red tints. So, yeah, we like it. El Luchador. I've got one more in a pot. And later on, we're going to see this plant in full bloom out in the garden. But this is the offspring of a plant that people have loved in the garden for ages, before the garden even was here. This is a flowering peach, Prunus persica, that's the name of peach, ruby ruffle. And what's special about this plant, for years we have had a flowering peach in the Arboretum and seedlings of it. It remains true. Let me see if I can get a good flower around for you. Oh, thank you. For years we've had it. It's just called NCSU Dwarf Double Red, which goes to show you that garden people have no idea about color, because it's really this color, a dark pink. Look up anything that's blue in flowers that are blue. They're all lavender. But it's this beautiful dwarf flowering peach. You can't eat them. The peaches, it does form peaches, but they're basically a pit covered with skin. But then there was another plant called Bonfire, same thing, but had dark purple leaves and kind of washed out pink flowers. They're okay. So Denny Werner, who works with us at the Arboretum, former director, we call him our plant breeder emeritus, crossed that dark purple with the NCSU Dwarf Double Red. And so we've got a dark purple leaf dwarf flowering peach with these bright double pink flowers. Really cool plant. Like I said, we'll see another one later on today that's a full one, but this one was grafted by former JCRA intern, Leanne
Keneally Adkins.
She's Keneally to me. She'll always be Leanne Keneally to me, but she does programming for us. She does a lot of education. She does these grafting workshops, hands-on, but also does a lot of grafting for us and other people as well. So
I know people are wondering, like, is this in the trade? When is it going to hit the trade?
So this is in the trade now. It's not widely available now, but it is in the trade. You can find it. These are, she is selling these commercially to other garden centers, but it takes these a little while to get going. But I think this is going to be a really, really popular plant.
Mm-hmm. I think
Ruby
that's
Ruffle.
One of the things that we oftentimes forget is how long this process takes. Because you sum it up in like 2 or 3 minutes, and it's just so concise.
Right, yeah.
We forget that how long did it even take them to get to this point?
Yeah, this took years, and Denny started off as a peach breeder, so he knows peaches. He knows how to breed them. Look this spring for the earliest peaches, the little kind of flat white fleshed ones called Oriental Pearl. That's one of Denny's first edible peach introductions from early in his career.
I wish I could remember what year, but I was working here when you first got wind of this, and you said we are going to have some really cool things in the pipeline.
Yeah, and that was probably...
That was a decade ago. I don't know that that's when you saw it, but I just remember it was while I was here.
Yeah, well, and we've been, some of our other plants we're going to introduce, like this one, another brand new one, and this is again commercially available, is a redbud. Early spring, so you're getting it, just coming into flower. We're releasing a lot of redbuds right now, but the first one took 14 years before it came out. Now, there are a whole lot of other things moving along with that, so we've been releasing them every year. But this is a whole new series called the Garden Gems series. This is Garden Gems Amethyst Falls. And the Garden Gems are little leaf dwarf redbuds. So we've got Garden Gems Amethyst Falls, which has small, deep purple leaves, this weeping habit, not like some of our other introductions, Ruby Falls, which has what we call strict weeping, that just goes straight down. This one is kind of wider, a little bit more like Traveler, if you're familiar with that, but with small, deep purple leaves, really distinctive. So along with this Garden Gems Amethyst Falls, we've got Garden Gems Amethyst, which is little purple leafed upright, and Garden Gems Emerald, which is a little green leaf upright. There will be others in the series coming soon. You can probably guess at some of the names of those. But what these were designed for is for, our today's smaller landscapes, but also they do amazingly well in good sized containers. You can grow them for a long time in containers. I've got a great big pot that I've been trying to figure out what's going to go in it. And I don't have it yet, but Amethyst Falls is definitely what I'm gonna put in there. And you talk about how long it takes, even though we've been releasing these red buds. This one was a seedling from 2017. So, and that was a cross from advanced generations, and it's still, that's pretty quick for a tree, but we're looking at, 7 years later, before it's released.
Yeah.
So
these are in the trade?
These are in the trade now. They are in the hands of nurserymen. They are, I have seen Amethyst Falls, and one of our other ones we're going to be showing, I've seen in garden centers now, retail garden centers locally. The other redbud I want to mention is there's a variety of redbud that grows down in Texas, very thick leaf, very tough, called variety Texensis or subspecies Texensis, and we have a gold leaf one of that called Gilded Hearts. Super sun tolerant, really nice form. Those leaves are really glossy compared to the other golden leaf forms, and it it glows when the sun hits it. It's a really cool plant. And we'll show a few more pictures. We've got with Juniper Level, our partners, we introduced a button bush, our native Cephalanthus, that we call Just Deserts, because it came from a desert location in Texas again, but is our eastern native species. And it is, without a doubt, the finest button bush that I've ever seen. It keeps very, very clean foliage. It's drought tolerant. It's tolerant of wet soils, flowers all the time, it's covered with pollinators. It's an outstanding plant. Yeah. And that we've been distributing around. It's not been picked up by a major nursery yet, but I think it will be.
I just wanted to remind people too, to check with your garden centers. You know, you may not see the stock, but just ask them, let them know you're interested in it. There may be stock available, one or two that they could get on request, but don't forget to ask them. And then for all the members out there, be sure to show that membership card, because a lot of our local garden centers kind of give a little thank you to our members by way of a discount. So
that's right. There may very well be at our Raulston Blooms Plant Sale and Garden Festival, there may very well be some ruby ruffles available, limited numbers. Now, so people know, we do our Raulston Blooms, we have an online portion of the sale first, and it opens to members, and members get about a week of purchasing, and then it opens to non-members. Got to pick up the plants here. We don't ship for our plant sales. I would imagine ruby ruffle may be gone by the time we have our on-site sale. We have limited numbers of it, so if it shows up in our online sale, and I'm going to have to twist Director of Horticulture Greg Page's arm to see if we can get it in there, but yeah, I think those are going to go pretty quick.